This week we are off to Crufts, which I am really excited about. If you followed me last year before I went a bit MIA, you will have seen that I took Woody, my black working cocker, to Crufts last year because one of my photography clients, Eden Holistic Pet Foods, kindly invited us. This year, however, I am not taking any of the dogs, and I'm also going for 2 days this year rather than one. So Crufts runs over 4 days, if you didn't know, in March. It always clashes with my birthday, which is why I've only just started going, because I don't want to go and do work things on my birthday. I am excited to experience Crufts without any dogs because it also means I can go watch stuff in the main arena. So I'm actually going with my agility trainer to watch some of the agility on Friday. I'm also going to go and see my friend who is showing her poodles this year on the Thursday in the toy and utility category. So each day at Crufts has a different category. So Thursday is toy and utility breeds and Friday is gun dogs. Obviously working cockers are gun dogs, but they're never shown at Crufts apart from in agility and the sports because there's a show strain of cocker that is the one that goes to shows, obviously. Same with Labradors, same with Golden Retrievers, same with quite a lot of the gun dog breeds. There's a working strain who are the farm dogs and the ones that typically are worked on shoots and stuff like that, and then there are the show dogs who are bred for the breed standards of the Kennel Club. I'm not going to get into that because that is a whole debate on its own. I'm excited to be able to show you a bit more because I won't have Woody, I won't have my hands full as much. I've definitely learned some lessons from last year in terms of what to bring and stuff like that. So yeah, enjoy this video.
So I ended up not filming any chatty to-camera segments while I was at Crufts. If you've been to Crufts, you'll know it is a huge event and there is so much to see and do. And I just got distracted. I think as well because I come to Crufts partly for work, partly for socialising, and partly to learn more about dogs, time just gets away with you. Speaking of time, one of the first things I knew I needed to do when I got to Crufts was to visit the Poodle ring to see and help photograph my friend who was showing 2 of her poodles. However, I nearly missed that because I got on the wrong train and had to repurchase my tickets. Anyway, this is Margot. She is taking part in Crufts for the first time this year in the puppy class. I actually first met Margot and her owner earlier this year on a photo shoot I was doing for Pet Head, and we have stayed in touch ever since. And I have actually learnt so much about dog showing through Margot's owner, as well as a few other friends who show their dogs who are different breeds, not poodles. Now, I am the first to admit that in the past I've known literally nothing about dog showing, particularly in this context at Crufts. And before I go any further, I think it's important to remember that opinions do and should change over time as we learn more, educate ourselves, and experience more as people, partly through meeting people like Margot's owner, as well as talking through vet professionals and other people in my professional network as a photographer specialising in photographing pets for advertising, and my opinion has changed slightly. While I do strongly believe that the Kennel Club do need to update their breed standards in a lot of areas in order to prioritise animal health and well-being over aesthetics, particularly brachy breeds, I'm looking at you, I do think it is also important to have a governing body, so to speak, to oversee the dogs and dog ownership community, as well as to educate people about the realities of living with dogs. And in many ways, this is what Crufts does. It unites dog owners from across the country, as well as internationally, to all unite and come and share our passion and love for our dogs. Here is Margot's owner with her other dog, Elsie, who was also competing in Crufts this year. And honestly, the passion they have for poodles and the poodle breed is phenomenal. And that is also partly why my opinion has shifted slightly over the years. Through getting to know people like Elsie and Margot's owner and talking to them and learning about why they're there and why they do show their dogs. Anyway, this video wasn't intended to get political by any stretch of the imagination, so let's make sure we keep comments well informed and respectful if you want to leave any at all. Back to my couple of days at Crufts. As I mentioned, this is Elsie. She was taking part in a couple of classes this year, and so her owner was busy grooming her and preparing her for her first class. Poodles have to go through a lot of grooming and coat maintenance at Crufts or any show, or just general life, to be honest. And I found it really fascinating that a lot of these dogs had these head cushions, and they were all trained to put their head down and kind of relax and chill out, just like Elsie is doing in these clips. Here she is in the show itself, being judged by the judge there. As you know, I'm sure poodles are renowned for their haircuts, and Elsie was in the continental trim, which apparently takes hours to perfect. Honestly, I don't know how her human does this. It is really quite impressive, and seeing all the different trims that the various dogs were in for their classes was so impressive. Elsie managed to achieve second place in one of her classes, not actually this one that I filmed. I had to head off to other aspects of the show. I actually then bumped into one of my clients, Eden Holistic Pet Foods, who weren't exhibiting this year. So it was very strange. I just randomly bumped into them. And then we ended up going to the arena together to watch some agility and also the native and vulnerable breeds showing. As you'll know if you watched my previous video, I've recently started agility myself with my Cockador Callie. And so going to watch the agility at Crufts was such an atmosphere and so insightful, really. It's incredible what these dogs can be trained to do. Yeah, just the noises, the excitement, it was really thrilling. Next up was the native and vulnerable breeds show, and this is actually a really good example of where I think dog showing does have its place and is arguably quite important, because I learned so much about the breeds featured in this particular show, and there were quite a few that I had never heard of. And I mean, I work with dogs and I know a lot of people who own a lot of different breeds, and it is such a shame that there are a number of breeds in the UK that are listed as vulnerable, and a handful of litters are born each year. So from this perspective, it was really interesting to get to know the breeds a bit better, but also see them in person, because as the name suggests, they're vulnerable and quite rare these days, so you're not going to just come across them in your local park while walking your dog. In this clip here, the judge is choosing his shortlist of the native and vulnerable breeds. Spoiler alert, the bearded collie went on to win. I mean, it's not much of a spoiler, this video is going out way past Crufts. Of course, Crufts has its own live stream and also YouTube channel and broadcasting, so it's really not a spoiler alert. But I thought I'd just mention it just in case you hadn't seen any of that. But yeah, the bearded collie won. Not to be confused with the Dulux dog, of course, who is an Old English sheepdog, if you didn't already know. Crufts Day 2 was all about the shopping for me, and as this was partly a work trip, it was also great to see how my clients were using my photography on their stands. Here is Dorwest's stand featuring my Cocker Spaniel Henry, and he was also on the Tasty Bone stand actually, but I forgot to get any footage of that. So please enjoy a clip from last year. Callie was also on the JR Pet Products stand as a tiny little puppy. I thought I was going to be on my own mooching around Crufts and all the 5 halls for most of Friday, but then I actually bumped into my agility trainer who I was meeting up with later that day anyway to watch the agility, so we just went around the shops together. So again, sorry I don't have much footage of that, but after watching the agility we did stick around for the Flyball, and this is the first time I've ever watched Flyball in person, and it is such a loud sport and it's also so quick. To be honest, I've never been in the main arena for Crufts before, because last year I brought my working Cocker Spaniel Woody along with me, and dogs aren't allowed in the arena unless they're obviously competing, which is pretty fair enough, to be honest. So I thoroughly enjoyed just taking in the atmosphere really for the rest of the day, and yeah, learning more about dogs and dog sports.
We are back from Crufts. Here is everything I got. I also have my, oh, where is he? Where is he? Uncovered him. My glamorous assistant behind me, who's going to be helping. The others are in their crates to avoid any arguments. We'll start with this bag here. In here we have some Door West Omega Star Oil. We just need that and that. We've got some Omega Star Oil. I think there are 4 bottles in here. Yep. But I did buy 6 because they do a bulk discount. And these are what we use for Woody's coat. So since he was neutered around 5 years old, his coat has a tendency to go really puffy. I have also realised that I need to take better care of brushing out his undercoat, and thankfully that is one grooming aspect that he really enjoys, so we're getting back into a regular routine with that. However, this supplement, it is a plant-based omega oil, and it is designed to help with skin issues. So if your dog's got like rashes or itchy or things like that, or flaky skin, and also if your dog's coat is a bit dull or has lost its shine or just needs a little bit of extra support. So yeah, I bought these. There are 2 more, but they're upstairs, but as you can see it's the same bottle. And Door West do a bulk offer on, you can either buy 1 or you can buy 6. So I bought 6, which should be more than enough to last Woody for a year. There we go, all 6, which I bought as a bulk deal from Door West. Move these back. Just to disclose, there are a few things that I have been gifted by some of my photography clients. I will mention those as we go along. Next up, let's do these. We have some lambskin with hair natural chews from Nova Dog Chews. If you don't like feeding natural treats, please just skip to the next video. My dogs absolutely love their natural chews, and also it may look like I've made a lot of purchases at Crufts. That is because I have. However, I'm the type of person that tries to save a lot of my purchasing for Crufts specifically, because if I'm there already, I may as well make the most out of all the deals that they do. So for instance, these were on, although they already do a multi-buy offer, they are also on a 15% off offer, I think, for the show. Ah, Henry. So yeah. I just like to shop that way. So I try and go with a list in mind and a list of all the stands I want to visit and all the products I want to buy. Excuse me, sir. Get back on your seat. And then try and make purchases that way. I like to try and be mindful because I don't like over consuming where I can avoid it. But things like this, how much is this? This is a kilo of lambskin with hair. We'll go through this over the course of a month or 2, especially split up between 3 dogs. Usually they have cow skin with hair, but I could only find lambskin, and I'm allergic to wool, but obviously I'm sure the dogs will be fine with this. So yeah, I bought that from Nova Dog Chews. I'll just put that there. I did also buy some other treats. These are the jumbo beef tails from JR. JR are also one of my photography clients, but I did buy these myself. These are really handy for when I leave the dogs or we head out or after a walk. Oh, do you like these ones? I didn't know. They're really handy for, yeah, just when we need to leave the dogs or anything like that, because they last a long time, but they're not as like bent and twisted as these chews can be. I have had it before. Oh, he's fallen off. I have had it before. Luckily I was in the room when it happened, but Callie managed to get like a cow ear caught around her jaw once and was sort of like whelping in pain, but I managed to obviously unclip it for her. So I try not to give them these if I'm not in the house with them, whereas these are, in my opinion, a bit better and a bit safer because there is no like curls for them to get caught up in. Yeah, so I got 2 of those from JR. I think they were £20 for the 2 of them. And then later on I found another offer, which was a 3 for 2 at Finer by Nature. So I bought some more beef tails, or these are called cow tails. And these were part of a 3 for 2 offer. So I got those, and then I got 2 big bags of sprats. Sprats are like dead fish, if you didn't know. These are really good for agility, although they really are oily and gross. But yeah, that's why I bought all of these, because they're really high value they're a really high value treat. Sorry, hen's singing in the background here. You'll get a snack in a minute, okay? Yeah, I know. You can have a snack later. That hasn't helped. So yeah, so these were bought with agility in mind. So typically I use a portion of Callie's food as agility training treats, just because it clashes with our dinner time basically. So I also try and like put in a few different higher value treats, just as like if she's done something really well or we're learning something new and needs that extra motivation. So sprats are a good option for us so far. The last food related thing, and it is also mildly related to agility too, but this time it's for Henry in the background here and Woody, are these. These are the gentle cold pressed dog bones. I hope that's focusing, sorry if it's not. So these are a complete meal in a cold pressed bone. As you can see, they're quite hard. I know you've just spotted them, huh? They're quite hard and robust, but it is a portion of the dog's daily food. I got large ones for Woody and small ones for Henry because you're a senior boy now, aren't you? Yeah, and the vet told you were a little overweight, so we're trying to slim you down. So I bought these so that when we go to agility and Callie is having her meal at agility, the boys can wait in the truck and enjoy a meal of their own, but they're not sort of, it's not scattered in the truck, and it's not, yeah, like I know that they're going to have their right portions basically. So yeah, I bought about 20 of those, 10 of each size, which is good. Obviously it is cheaper to feed them the actual cold pressed food, and every other day that's what they get. But come on, every other day of the week that's what they get. But for agility, and also if we go away, sometimes it's handier just to have them as like more of a treat. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, have them in more of a like treat form, so I know I can give one of them one and they will eat that whole thing, rather than sort of scattering it about and then someone eating it for someone else's dinner. We did get gifted these lamb sausages from Eden. I worked on a project with them last year for their Crufts stand. I worked on a project with them for their last Crufts stand, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, they actually weren't exhibiting this year, which was really sad because I was really hoping to grab some of their training treats at Crufts, because they do quite big bags, again for agility. Come on, hen. But I did bump into them and we ended up watching some agility in the arena and stuff like that, and then they kindly gifted me some of these lamb sausages. So that was really nice of them. Put that there. I think there's one more food thing. 2 more food things. The next items we got are from Super, who create these plant-based treats for dogs. These are their Healthy Bites in blueberry and apple, and then I also got some of their dentist sticks in various flavours. I think Henry is going to enjoy these. Again, they were like the two different variations of treats were on offer. I can't remember how much they were. I think I paid £15 in total for these, but I have just plucked that from the air a little bit. So yeah, got some of those. Yeah, if you can't tell, there was a bit of a theme with agility related snacks and products for this Crufts haul, just because sometimes it's really helpful to have everything under one roof, and so like you can actually see products in person and figure out whether you do think they are a good fit for you or not. So while I do buy stuff like this, which is like tried and tested by us for years now at this point, same with the chews and things, it is quite nice to pick up and experiment a little bit with some new products that you've heard of but maybe not necessarily have tried. I think as well, the fact we live quite rurally, it's sometimes quite hard to access pet shops, well, especially for us, some of them are like half an hour away, or especially if they stock certain brands. So yeah, Crufts is quite good for experimenting, and Henry's really excited about this next thing, aren't you? So these were kindly gifted to me. So one of my photography clients again. Oh gosh, okay, Henry's got that one. Right, we'll give Henry one of them to test out in the background. Come up here, that's it. Right, so these are the Novellies Dental Chews. I think they are a peanut butter flavour. There we go. Yeah, so I have worked with the people who were on this stand for a while now, and my dogs, as you've seen, really enjoy these chews, so they kind of gifted us 2 of those, and Henry is tucking right in behind me, which will hopefully keep him busy for the rest of this haul. The next, we got a free Door West tennis ball, which is always nice, although Callie likes to shred these, so I have to keep balls out of reach. They also seem to cause a few arguments every so often, so yeah, we have to be careful with those. Another gifted item I received was from Nylabone. This is their Dog Extreme Chew in beef flavour. I think Callie is going to really enjoy testing this one out. Yeah, I haven't actually used Nylabone for my dogs yet, but hopefully Callie's gonna enjoy this. She is the dog out of all of them that quite happily goes and chews these, or we use Tasty Bone as well. And yeah, she will voluntarily go into the toy box and pick them out when she just fancies a chew, which is actually really helpful because she's the kind of dog where chewing really calms her down when she's overwhelmed. Next up is a product I've wanted to try for a while, and it's just not available down here in Cornwall, or it hasn't been anywhere that I've seen, and that is the Animology Pre-Wash Fox Poo spray. We love the Fox Poo shampoo. This guy behind me, that guy especially, loves to roll in Fox Poo, don't you, Henry? And obviously, because we live rurally, we've got a lot of sheep poo, rabbit poo, horse poo, basically any type of poo we have regularly on our walks. So this, I think, is going to be really handy. When we get back into the truck, I can just spray the areas where they have rolled in something, and then either wipe it down with a cloth, because I don't really want to use wipes, I prefer to use something reusable, or I can then come home and then wash it off properly with the Fox Poo shampoo. So yeah, but it's supposedly once you've sprayed it on, once you get to your car after a walk, it starts to like deodorize the smell as soon as you put it on. So I just think it will be handy, especially when we adventure further afield and are not in immediate access to our dog shampoo and washing facilities that we have here at home. Okay, oh, nearly forgot. I also picked up 2 pots of the dog's current joint supplement, which is from Lilydale. I only know about this brand because our local pet shop stocks it, and the the shop assistants always say that they like highly recommend this. Because we have one agility dog, but also Henry is now 9 this year. He's also blind, if you didn't know, and so he has like certain, not muscle wastage, but like it never formed because on his blind side he doesn't prioritise stepping on it basically. And then obviously Woody is also becoming a senior boy. So we've just got lots of different dogs at different life stages and different priorities. So they're all on this this joint supplement for the moment. I did look at the Rioflex stand while I was at Crufts, because that's another brand I'm intrigued to try at some point, but it was just too expensive, and I need to like research better as to what products I actually need from them, because they seem to have quite a diverse range, but like loads of my friends swear by Rioflex, so potentially that's something I might try in the future. This is for Callie for agility. It is from Paws Made, which I think I picked up on the swag stand. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is this rabbit fur coated lotus tug toy, basically. So we usually use, let me put this here, we usually use this rabbit skin chaser tug from Tug Enough. This was left over after a photo shoot I did for them last year. We usually use this in the garden, and Callie absolutely loves it. I love that it's long as well, because you can drape it along the ground and stuff like that, but she can't comprehend that we can use this toy at agility. It's just not gone in her mind yet that that's a thing we can do. However, she loves the clam toy that we've got from Tug Enough as well. Perhaps in my next video I'll go through what we are up to at agility, and like as beginners obviously, but also like what we pack and what we use and what I've learned so far type thing. Anyway, so we usually use a clam toy, which is like this but flatter, and opens up. But Callie's not very good at opening up, so when she finishes a run or like whatever exercise we're doing, she'll just look at me being like, okay, open that for me now. So like, she's getting better, don't get me wrong, but I figured that maybe if we combine everything into the ultimate agility toy that I think Callie will hopefully love, then maybe she'll learn that she can play tug at agility, and that can be our new motivator when she's finished a run. Because also, because this is on a line, it would mean that, or like a tug toy, it would mean she'd be able to open the food and then play tug, and she's closer to me so I can put her on her lead and stuff. I mean, she is a really good girl, she usually stays pretty close, but this is just something I wanted to try. And when I found this version with the rabbit fur, with the tug, with the lotus shell thing, with the lotus toy, because basically they put their nose in and then wriggle it open and it's Velcro inside. Whoop. So yeah, so when I saw this at Crufts, I thought actually this might be the toy we've been searching for all this time, to then convince Callie she can play tug at agility, and then we can bring out this toy more often and her other tug toys. She's also got one of these faux fur ones with a ball. I can't remember what the product name is off the top of my head, but like, we can just get back into using toys at agility as well as snacks all the time. So yeah, speaking of Tug Enough, I don't know where my keys are, I got one of their little faux fur tug key rings, which was their free gift for RSVPing. So basically, if you said you were going to visit them at Crufts in the lead up to Crufts weekend, you could then go to the stand, they sent you a text message, and you could go to the stand and pick up this free toy, which is a really cool incentive. And then finally, the last thing that I've ordered that won't come for a few days, or maybe even a week, I don't know. The last thing I ordered was from Ivy and Duke, who create memory foam mattresses and dog beds. We have one of their lounger beds. I mean, Woody actually has one in his crate. I'm not going to get him out just because it's going to cause drama because all the treats are there. But Woody has one in his crate in a smaller size. But we also have one in the back of the truck that all 3 dogs like to use when we are travelling. However, because we live in Cornwall, we obviously go to the beach a lot, we obviously go to the woods a lot, especially at this time of year. It is just mud central everywhere, and so this poor bed has been just getting wrecked very quickly. And for Woody's bed in the crate, I've got a few different covers that you can remove and wash separately, which is why I love Ivy and Duke's beds. Anyway, long story short, I bought a new cover for the large Ivy and Duke bed that we've got in the back of the truck, which is going to help me hopefully keep it cleaner and drier and like just be able to swap it in and out a lot more efficiently. Oh look, he's back for the other. You can't have that, you've just eaten one. You can't, you just ate it. Yeah, I'm sorry. You just ate it and the vet said you're fat. You can't have two. So basically that's going to arrive soon. It's like a really nice, the colour they say is grey, but it's more of a sort of bluey grey. Yeah, I'm excited for that to arrive in due course. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this year's Crufts video. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry, as I said, I didn't chat as much at Crufts itself, but it just gets so overwhelming, doesn't it? You're not trying to eat all the snacks. No, of course not. He's a distinguished gentleman. He doesn't eat snacks. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to sharing our next video with you soon.